Until you do right by me, everything you think about is going to fail. Remember that? In 1910, 1 in 7 farmers were black. Since then, black people have had 90%, 90% of their farmland stripped from them. Let me tell you how. Carlton Sanders was a chicken grower from Forest, Mississippi, and he had contracts with Coach Industries. You know, the Coach, you know who they are, Tyson Foods, who have these contracts with farmers, chicken growers, etc. And they use these contracts to control farmers, control their income, control their operations.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. White farmers are collapsing economically or socially, and they are furious because black people are no longer reacting. They are no longer depending on them or suffering with them. People who were once more powerful are collapsing, and the people they expected to depend on them are no longer reacting, begging, or panicking. These white farmers are furious because they are drowning and the blacks are silent. Make sure you watch this video till the end, and at the end of the video we are going to have a good discussion about the white farmers getting furious of the silence and the success of black people in America.
Now, Carlton was the only black chicken grower out of 173 chicken growers for Coach. He started with about $750,000 in debt and worked year after year after year to pay it down. And he had about $50,000 left before he could pay everything off for his farm. And guess what happened? Coach slapped him with some upgrades that were required to his farm. The cost was going to be about $318,000, and that was going to put him back in total about $500,000 in debt. I work all my life. But here's the thing. They slapped him with $318,000 of required changes to his farm, but didn't require any changes to the white farmers. None of the 172 white farmers, just the one black farmer. So he filed a complaint with the USDA. That didn't work, and the retaliation began. So he's scrambling, trying to put this money together. And at first he had the bank with him, willing to loan him the money. The bank was on his side. But you know how it works. Probably phone call from Coke to the bank, and next thing you know, the bank pulls and reneges out the deal, and foreclosure proceedings start. So they were able to get the money together to save the farm from foreclosure, and the bank wouldn't take it. They wanted him out. So they closed on him in 2018. And Sanders found out who the buyers were going to be and offered them a price above what they would buy the farm for. So he offered a buyer $150,000. Offer not accepted. They sold the farm for $110,000. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps, they say. Stop asking for handouts. So he loses his farm. It's a beautiful farm. This story was being told on Something Black Made, and then Now This picked it up. And there may be a video out there that you can watch. It's really sad. So a couple of senators tried to help, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, and they tried to get a meeting with Trump and to move forward with a bill, and also to try to get some relief. And Trump wouldn't even meet with him. He said, there's no problem here. If there was a problem, I would know about it. So he refused to meet. As I understand it, Carlton Sanders has a lawsuit pending against the Coke Industries, whatever they call themselves. And I hope he wins, but it's Trump America right now. So the court system may or may not be able to help him. It's for discrimination and mistreatment. I told you that story because we've now got a serious problem going on in the heartland of America. Our farmers are crying and asking for help. They're losing their farms or at risk of losing their farms left and right. A lot of them lost their farms in the first Trump administration while getting subsidies and help in the Biden administration, but apparently something was going to be better this time around. We're winning, right? Yeah, we're going to deport all the migrants who work the farms. We're going to impose tariffs and start a trade war back with China, who is the lowest of the petty ones, right? So I want to be clear that China canceled all contracts for soybeans. They are buying 0 soybeans from the United States this year. They went and made 20-year contracts with Brazil for soybeans. And then Trump got rid of the subsidies, and the agency that was, I don't know what happened to my phone there, but the agency that was exporting food to countries, third world countries, our grains and stuff, that agency got canceled, and that aid got canceled, and so there's no exporting. All that went to the big beautiful bill. A perfect trifecta. And so now we got Arkansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, Iowa saying the states might go bankrupt because they're missing all the tax revenue from all the exports and contracts that they would have had. Nebraska would have had a $2 billion contract with China for soybeans, and that would have generated $50 million in state taxes. Their migrants are gone. They didn't work this summer, so they didn't pay taxes either. So they're looking for handouts. Just pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Stop asking for handouts. It's a welfare state. How does that feel? I know that this video appears to gloat about the predicament that those people find themselves in. And maybe so. The treachery that has been done to us, what goes around comes around. Racism is expensive. We voted for all of us, and you voted against us. So you having the day you deserve.
This is for the farmers from Nebraska and Texas. I don't know why you're mad. You're very angry right now. It's your fault. You're the ones who got rid of your farm workers. You allowed ICE to get them all, arrest them all. And now you got nobody to work in your land. And you thought because Trump said that Mexicans are robbing, stealing black people's jobs, and you thought by getting rid of your workers, Hispanic workers, you thought that black people were going to come and work for you on your land? You're wrong. They're not coming to work on your land because the black people are educated. They are lawyers. They are judges. They're teachers. They're dentists. They're doctors. They're nurses, actors, business owners. They're not going to work in your land. So, and now I'm hearing that you are burning black people's farms. That's not okay either. That's pure evil. That's evil. Just because the black people that has farms, they don't depend on the government. You guys do. You depend on the government to work, to give you money for your land. for your farming. And the black people, they don't depend on the government. It's not okay to go and burn their land. Karma's gonna get you worse. You're already screwed. You're losing your lands, your farming. And now you doing this to another farmers, black people farmers, you're gonna get it worse. That's envy. That's bad. And another thing, you're not going to have no black people working in your land. You can forget about that. Because this is 2025, not 1700.
I was watching this video the other day of this white guy who said that he wanted to create a whites-only community where only whites are allowed, no other races and shit like that. And I was really upset at black people because I started seeing all these think pieces about how they were upset about it and how it wasn't going to last. And I be wanting to ask black people a lot, what is it about white people that makes y'all want to be so close to them? I don't get it. When white people say, hey, this is our shit, y'all are not allowed to come over here, why do black people make such an uproar? Oh, this is racist, this is a crime, this is this and that. Bro, why do y'all want to be in these spaces so motherfucking bad? I'm not talking about medical, I'm not talking about jobs and things like that are really important. I'm just talking about like a community, the HOAs, the restaurants, you know, the plays, and whatever it is that white people want to do for white people. Let white people do their own thing. Why do y'all be so mad y'all can't be included? We don't like when they want to be in our shit. Why do y'all want to be in their shit so bad? What is that? What's with that? I don't get that.
Okay, I think I figured out why Harmony and people is calling Black Americans cowards and carrying on because we not out there in the streets. They thought that we had no self-control. That's what they thought. They thought that when we was doing all that stuff, like in 2020 and Ferguson and Baltimore and stuff like that, and LA riots and stuff like that, it was just because we, you know, they were so easily provoked that as soon as somebody do something to one of us, we don't have any strategy. We don't have any type of thought process. We just go like an attack dog. They thought that we had no self-control, and us deciding to sit out and being all on one accord and being strategic and not reacting is showing a level of self-control that they did not realize that we had. They thought they didn't know about us. They thought that we are messing up their perception of us. They are having a crisis about our identity, about Black Americans' identity. Everybody is. Immigrants are having a crisis about our identity. You know what I mean? White folks is having a crisis about our identity. They thought that they could count on us. They thought they knew us. And they never knew us because they didn't know our motivations. They didn't know what we were doing. They just saw the effects and they heard what the media said and they took it and ran with it. So even the people that was like, oh, we support you, this and that, the other thing, they thought that we were, you know, justified, but they also thought we were uncontrollable. You know, because that's why they'd be like, be peaceful when you go out there. I know you got to go out there, but do it like this. Like, you know, they think they treat us like we're children, like we are feral, unruly children. And now that we are showing them that we was doing the whole time. But now that we are showing them now, yeah, we're good. You go ahead and do that. They can't handle it. They can't handle it because it's messing up what they thought they knew about Black Americans. This whole year has been a mind fuck for them. Between us sitting out, between us delineating, you know, we're really showing them in real time who we are. But we always knew, you know, what they say, if you don't know.
I am so glad that the riots in LA do not have any blacks involved in it. I haven't seen one black person involved in the LA riots that's going on right now. And that's good because in the last, as far as I can remember back, all the riots have been involved. Some black people have been involved somewhere. And it's a rarity not to see black people involved in a riot in America. Funny, you know, isn't that, if you think about it. But this is what you got to understand with the Latino community, Spanish-speaking community, is that you got to be careful that this doesn't backfire on you, because what we're seeing in the news is these federal agents are out front, standing there, not bothering anybody, just protecting the other federal troops that have come in to deport people who are bad for the country and maybe bad for you too. And so what they're standing there, not bothering anybody, just protecting their property. And you guys go in, insult them, curse them, throw rocks, throw bricks at them. And when they come through the streets, you throw bricks at them, and you call, and the Democrats call this a peaceful protest. I don't know what kind of peace you're talking about, because the peace I know is that you stand there, you yell, you scream, but you don't throw bricks, you don't insult, and you don't throw water bottles at them, because that antagonizes them to defend themselves and to get you. And when the federal people, I don't think you understand what a federal offense is. When you get a federal charge against you, you might as well go back to your country, because you can't get a job, especially on a federal felon. You can't get a job, you can't vote, you can't own a firearm. It's so many things that's against you if you want to take care of your family. Even if white people, even if white people are involved in a felony from the federal government, it's huge. You cannot get no bigger than that. So be careful. And then what I'm talking about is that when your race is out there throwing rocks at the federal government and showing yourself this way, it will backfire on you, because America will see you in a different light and disdain on you. When your kids go to school, and say, oh, those are the people that attack those federal agents, those are the people that ride in the streets. And the backfire is you get what we as black people get all the time. You get that disdain for your race, and you people should get together and find out how you can come up with a solution rather than rioting in the streets of America. And this is what Americans are looking at right now, is that you're in the streets fighting for somebody else who is being deported, and you're waving your country's flag at the same time, throwing bricks at the Americans on American soil and destroying American property while on American soil, while holding your country's flag. We don't get it. Help us to understand what it means to tear America down while you in your flag. Now, think about this. Think about an American or American citizens in another country doing the same things you're doing. How long do you think they would not shoot tear gas at us or throw smoke bombs at us, or these blasting things? How long do you think before they would actually shoot and kill us if we did this in another country? You need to think about that, how much grace that you have here, that the American government is treating you and not shooting you down as you would in the country that you live in. You can't go to your country and riot like you do here and not get shot with real bullets. We're throwing out rubber bullets, real bullets. And so another thing is that the Democrats are saying, this is a peaceful protest. They have not come out one time and said, this is bad. We need to take back and find another way to work these issues out. The Democrats don't care. All they want is confusion and chaos in America. The party for good should stand for good. And so I hope that Trump doesn't call the Marines out, because something about the Marines in their brains, that when they put on that uniform, it's something snaps in them, and they come to your country or to your city. It's not good, because the generals have to contain these guys, because they go into a serious battle mode. They're just trained this way. So I hope that the National Guard can put this down, and people will go home and try to figure another way out. But if the Marines come in, it's going to be a whole different story. But don't let this backfire on you, because people will see your race worse than they see the black race. And that, my friend, is not good at all. This is Gilbert Wilkerson, Black Society.
I've never seen a lot of black actors in my entire life while I was living there. So yes, I'm gonna give their flowers all over again. And I'm sorry if I'm overhyped, but I'm very proud for all the work that you guys have done. So give it up again.
Welcome back. These white farmers are getting furious as their farmers stop showing up while black remain successful. The white farming community is collapsing or weakening. The support system in the farms is failing, and people are not showing to the farms for help. While the black people are still raising, working, and succeeding, and these whites become angry when their own system fails, but black continue to rise. Some white farmers expect success to be guaranteed for them because of the history in America, the privileges, the government support, and the legacy land ownership. So when their own workers or supporters stop showing up and their farms struggle, they become furious. But seeing black people still succeed makes them feel even worse. Because how are they rising while them themselves are collapsing? So these white people are really feeling bad because these black people are succeeding as their farms collapse. They feel like it destroys the belief that black success depends on the whites. Some white farmers believe that black people cannot succeed without their guidance. They feel like white leadership is necessary for order. They feel like blacks only progress when whites are allowed. So when they fail and blacks keep winning, it proves blacks are self-sufficient. Blacks can thrive independently. And whites' control is never required. And this shifts the power balance. There before, white farmers held economic power. If their farms decline, while black families, workers, or entrepreneurs rise, power definitely shifts from the white to the black. Status changes, influence reduces, thus threatening to those who relied on the social dominance. They are always saying that we are falling, and they are rising. These white people are getting furious because they fear losing economic security. They fear losing their wealth, their lands, their market power, their community leadership. And they feel like black success exposes that the racial hierarchy is collapsing. This creates fear and anger between the old system. In reversing, these white people feel embarrassed that the blacks are successful without suffering. Some white farmers feel shame or jealousy when black people succeed more than them, especially when the workers don't show up, when their crops fail, when their businesses lose profit. They don't understand that black people progress is all about strength, unity, and discipline. They feel like they are losing the mind that the white people's security is in agriculture. The white farmers always feel like they are the best farmers. They feel like they know land better. They feel like farming success belongs to them. But when they fail, and these black people, all these black farmers, succeed, it proves that this was never true. And that's why they get furious, because it will definitely expose the myth of their superiority. In agriculture, they fear that this will symbolize a collapse of their comfort zones. When whites see that their own community isn't supporting them, the surroundings of the blacks are not supporting them, they feel like their own farmers are quitting, whom are always blacks mostly. These blacks make these people well. They get money but remain in poverty. Their own system is breaking down. But black people are still thriving. They feel very powerless. They feel furious. They feel threatened and they feel humiliated. And that's what is causing the furiosity and the anger between these white people. These white farmers are furious as their farmers stop showing up and blacks remain successful. And it's really, really making them feel like the black powers are gaining superiority. They feel like they are drowning, like their system is collapsing. These white farmers feel like they are drowning because their community is struggling, their farms are failing, their economy is weakening, their old advantages are disappearing, and this creates a big fear amongst these people. Blacks are silent, these farms collapsing, which means the blacks are never begging or reacting to anything. And this silence from the blacks symbolizes that they don't fear anything, that they don't panic anytime, that they are not begging the whites anymore, that they are not creating any emotional reaction, and that there's no dependence anymore. They feel like these black people are getting more courage, more superior. They are getting money to do their own businesses, to do their own institutions, to make their own wealth. And that's they want. They want to control the black people. These black people, when they get silence, the blacks are not working for them anymore. The blacks are not debating on them. Blacks are not loud like they used to be for the white people. And this silence remains an eye or a bigger break into the psychological hierarchy of these white people. And the silence removes their sense of power. Because the whites are not the black people are not begging anymore. They are not reacting, they are not crying, they are not complaining. They are just comfortable. And they are feeling these things like they are unimportant. They feel like these things are unignored. They feel these people are powerless. And these white people feel like they lose their sense of power. The black silence in America shows confidence. They trying to show the white farmers that they are focused on their own success. They try to show that they are no longer emotional controlled by these white people. They are trying to tell the white people that they have their own plans. They have their own directions. They are not independent. And this silence is each and every day frightening the anchor between among the white people. These white people, when they get silent, when the farms of these white people are collapsing, they are falling down, their strength is trying to teach the white people that they have strategy now. They have strength. They are getting mature. They are independent. They have self-control. So they don't depend on the whites anymore. And these black people are just remaining indoors. When the white people really need the black people, they are not showing up. And do you know why they are not showing up? Because these black people feel that these white people have oppressed them for the longest time. They have taken them as slavers, where they drain their history, their culture, their livelihoods, and make them live like they want. But this time, these black people are getting superior. They're getting their minds. They're getting good education. And they feel like they should do what they should do. They should not beg the whites. They should not assure the whites are controlling them. And that's why these white people are really, really getting furious and very bitter. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like it. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you also subscribe to this YouTube channel. Until let's meet on the next video.